Yo, yo, yo. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. London open session on Thursday. Time flies, time flies. Weeks go by like crazy. Let's see what we will get for today's session. It doesn't seem to be easy one though. It doesn't seem to be an easy session. Good morning. In terms of the fact, I mean, the weekly bias that I have or have had for this week was bearish. I'm still potentially willing to see that. I'm not giving up on those lows at all. But we see some counter weekly bias directional movement, which might lead to some deeper premium before we actually sell off. Or we might be just going higher and I was just incorrect about this part of the week. Both cases are alright. Both cases are fine. But yeah, I would like to watch and see what we get today and tomorrow. Jackson Hole Symposium. That's a little bit like NFP type of environment on Thursday, Friday. So you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. I like the buy sell liquidity here near term. If we can go above this inefficiency here, it should act as inversion for value gap. So the upper half should be respected. And then we could think about aiming higher. Left some equal lows. Yes, Mr. Koho-san. So yeah, I mean, this inversion for value gap is somewhat key at the moment. If we lose that, then the structure kind of falls off. But as long as we stay above it on a closing basis, then the buy side in here might be the next draw on the upside. But yeah, the ideal protocol to engage with this fair value gap in here would be to tap into the upper half and then show another fair value gap that's displacement. And that would be kind of like the way to go about this. Yes, I do consider previous sessions and their respective highs and lows, and intra-session highs and lows too. Yeah, this week on the 4 hours is like a premium array here. So this week going backwards is the largest one. So this one is definitely a solid premium to aim for. Yeah, but that's higher. A small little consolidation here, still looking for it to potentially touch into the upper half of this. And it would need to be met with a displacement afterwards. So yeah, currently I'm tapering the idea of it going for those equal highs here. So in fact, besides this little return here into this inversion right away, so that like immediate return, price couldn't really come back and trade down into it, which I would view as additional strength. And I would expect the price to gravitate towards the buy side without coming back to this fair value gap, preferably. We do have inefficiency here. That's kind of like the last one before the buy side. So yeah, I mean, in hindsight, this 302 BC, this fair value gap, the first presentation really for the long open session silver bullet was the best case entry for the silver bullet at 304 here, aiming for that relative equal highs buy side best case scenario, right? Yeah, in hindsight, because I wasn't, I guess I came too late to the charts. I wasn't that quick in my thinking to realize that this will be or could be a solid idea. But yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Even if it doesn't reach there, that's like a solid scalp. But yeah, it's weathering its forces. It looks strong though, admittedly it looks strong, so I would rather expect this to tap into it. But yeah, regardless of what happens, whether it's good or bad, whatever that means, it's always a solid opportunity to get experience and improve your future self, your future silver bullet small trader in you. So yeah, we are just continuously poking higher, being very close to the objective. Admittedly, we are also in premium inside of this range from this high to this low. If we measure this range, we are clearly in premium of that range. So I'm not very up to be buying in that premium anymore, right? So I rather pass on it. This in here was the closest to the equilibrium as it could get, I guess. So in that regard, it was reasonable. But yeah, now we are deep premium. We are above the upper quadrant. Are you open to ideas from your audience? That's a good question, Mr. NYM. It's a very respectful question, so I appreciate that. And well, I generally don't mind if someone shares their opinion, what they are looking for. That's completely like fine. I really completely don't mind that. Just Andy. All right, Andy. I just only don't like when someone is trying to force an idea on me and tells me that I should annotate this or annotate that or whatever. These are the things that I don't like and they annoy me. Other than that, I'm not having issue with what audience thinks. I actually like to listen to it as long as it's respectful, right? So yeah, so far price is having some issues trading through this CB, through this inefficiency. I wouldn't. So yeah, that's the thing right now. From this low at 2:12 a.m. New York time, we were marching higher, 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 higher. This is technically like a bullish type of market, bullish type of trend ever since 2:12. And we did it continuously being bullish, 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 and now we are here. And currently we are at a premium. Currently we are at a premium array, and we are having some issues, some consolidation, some slowdown in this train, with this train. And now, because of all of this bullishness before, I'm not up to call it I'm not up to try to pick a top within this market structure, especially as I have those equal highs here. So I'm kind of like continuously still allowing for a measure of retracement, but having in mind that it should still reach up into it, right? Up into the buy side and be continuously bullish. As I'm not trying to call for a top in a bullish scenario, bullish market. Obviously, this bullish market in here is based on 1 minute, right? So the moment it hits a higher time frame PDRA, it may be a different story, right? But as long as it's not necessarily hitting a higher time frame PDRA, which the closest one is here, I'm still kind of like subscribing to the idea that we could see it poke above the buy side liquidity, unless it clearly proves me otherwise, right? So unless it starts really showing some signatures that it made an important high here, made a turnaround, and now it's seeking some deeper discount. So I know that's a lot of mumbo jumbo said, and what does it mean? Should I buy or should I sell, right? You should wait. I mean, I should wait. I will wait because it's not that obvious, right? It could go either way. It could go higher, and I favor that. But with this little consolidation into potential retracement, it could go also a little bit lower for a deeper discount and still go higher, right? Or it could reverse altogether and go for way deeper discount and maybe clear out this low. And all of these things are possibilities at this moment. Possibilities that until proven otherwise, until proven wrong, they remain possibilities. So yeah, when there is so many possibilities available, then usually the best call is to wait and see what price will weather out. Maybe something will be already discounted. Maybe it will prove that it's more likely to do one thing over the other, and that will be some clue that we can then use. But ever since 315, all of these candles are just pure overlapping consolidation, and not much is happening in that regard, right? We traded into this little fair value gap here several times already. I'll annotate it for completeness sake. The bodies are respecting the upper half of this though, which suggests what? That it's potentially bullish within a bullish order flow, within unrealized target here. This type of reactions are favoring, in my mind, the upside, right? So that's kind of what I would still favor, especially after this nice large up candle like this off of this fair value gap. And we'll see. Because if it's really bullish, if it's really good and strong, it will have no issues reaching for that premium off of this. Is this bullish? Looks like it, right? We closed above this CB. All of from this little area here, and we went very, very, very close to the target area. Now having some wiggle waggle here. As long as this low isn't necessarily breached, I still favor this buy side. So it's immediate rebalance basically here. The next candle should shoot up into the buy side, or the next after this one. That's what I would expect. This one or the next one should breach the buy side liquidity, and that will be, I mean, that would conclude the nice little tape read of a market maker buy model. Alright, so this candle didn't do that. It was an inside candle basically. So this one I'm expecting to attack the buy side aggressively with a larger range. 40 more seconds to go, and that's what I'm expecting. Right, second one failed to do so. That would be like a partial. If I had something on, that would be like a partial area. And the third one would be like the last chance to do so, to deliver. If it doesn't, then I wouldn't care that much about holding any longs anymore. But after the second one failed, this would be a nice partial, just in case the order flow is turning around and leaving this buy side intact, because yeah, that could happen. It's not impossible. Yeah, and the third one failed to do so either. I'm not a huge fan. Can it still go there? Yes, of course. But this already is a little bit weaker order flow than doing this on the first or on the second candle right away. But fine, fair enough. So yeah, these are my suggestions too. If, for example, I had a trade from the silver bullet for value gap there, the first presentation, and I rolled it all the way up here, expecting those equal highs, and seeing this type of structure, that would be where a partial would be salient. Just in case it makes some sneaky run lower, because yeah, if the order flow is strong and we see an immediate rebalance like this, it should not do this many candles sideways to lower. It should really shoot up and nail the buy side, and it can theoretically still do it, right? We are just consolidating, which makes it just a little bit annoying, I guess, a little bit prolonged. But also it makes this a possibility that it will not go there yet and will suffer a deeper retracement, right? Which we are seeing right now, right? So being up here and now seeing price sliding lower and lower like this, it wouldn't feel comfortable, right? It would feel like, oh no, I missed a best exit here. And again, doesn't mean that it can go one more time higher. It can, but it would be a hope and a prayer, right? And that's not the best case position to be in. So a partial, after this candle failed to run higher, a partial here would be still very, very near the high, like literally within 5 candles to the exact high, versus, for example, taking a partial here, being scared while it's dropping, right? That would be like a 20 handles off the high. So there is quite a difference, but nonetheless, we'll see. So now we see quite big, beefy down close candle here being presented. Also trading into this bullish fair value gap here, but trading below it quickly. We'll see if we can close below it or not. Yeah, now stretching aggressively away from this high, tapping into this potential bullish inversion fair value gap still, and this weak consecutive encroachment. By the way, that's the low of this candle. So yeah, now we have a potential inversion fair value gap here. Now we have a potential bearish breaker within that structure, and at least one CB. And this right away, that's a lot of premium arrays on the upside. A lot of premium arrays on the upside. So this CB, potential fair value gap here within a breaker, and this inversion fair value gap, that's a real cluster of arrays within this breaker. So maybe I should annotate the breaker instead as the main PD array. And take this off so it keeps the chart a little bit, at least a little bit cleaner. So yeah, we closed below this down candle here, which activates the breaker. This one couldn't get up into it, left a small little fair value gap, and yeah, look what we are seeing now. Like we are basically almost back inside of the opening or entry price of this hypothetical entry here. And I hinted that it's suspect after this candle could not reach the buy side. And then we see this. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty impressed. But all right, we left the buy side intact nonetheless. We left the buy side intact, and we are heading into the first presented fair value gap for the London Open Session Silver Bullet. So I will annotate that for completeness sake. And we'll see what we'll get around it. We do have some equal lows down there. That might be a little bit suspect. But let's focus on one thing at a time. So yeah, we are bullish. Failed to take out the actual buy side, and now we are trading some lower for a deeper discount. If we would take this range low, so 301 to this high, we are reasonably below 50% here. And this is the key PD array for now to potentially keep us in sync with the bullish order flow. Will it react here bullishly and send it all the way up? It could. I'm not saying it will for sure, but it could. If it will fail to offer bullishness at this first presentation, then those equal lows would be probably the next order of business. So yeah, now we traded into this first presentation. First touch was to the upper octane, and the body stays outside of it. All right, so let's see. We got a first stop here. By the way, this is a high probability first presentation because it's first presented and it's less on a key level here from the daily chart. We are 4 minutes ahead of the macro here at 350. That will be like the key time to watch and see this key PD array. So key time with key price, this key price, this PD array, and key time will be here. And we will see whether it will respect this PD array, give any discount sensitivity to it. Then I'm expecting the buy side still, or it will do the opposite. Then I don't have anything in my mind. All right, this is the second candle that touched the first presentation with a wick, but couldn't lay a body inside of it. This is the third one that is trading into it. We'll see whether a body will be laid inside of it or not. So far what it's doing here is quite bullish though, I would say. It's not breaching the, I mean potentially bullish, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's not breaching the upper quadrant even. The bodies are all staying above it. Now we even see a measure of displacement away after these two gentle touches. So that definitely sounds promising to reach into the buy side there. So the only thing that I would be willing to watch and see is this breaker being completely disrespected on the upside, right? That's what it needs to do with this PD array. It needs to completely show zero respect to it. As well with this fair value gap here. All right, and the macro starts just now. So yeah, if I think that the draw is still up here, I want a key discount array, which is here, engaged during key time, which is the macro. We left some relatively cool lows in here, so that's interesting to watch. We have also this inversion fair value gap as somewhat like a supporting array too. So yeah, I would generally want to see whether we could tap into those during the macro. It might happen that this turnaround happened or started ahead of the macro, slightly ahead. Sometimes that's what can happen. And if that's the case, it is what it is, but yeah. What I would like to see personally would be trade into this breaker here, like this, sell it off into those equal lows and the discount array here again, and then make a turnaround and reach the buy side. But yeah, if it smashes through the breaker like right away and goes for the buy side, then that's probably like a missed opportunity for me. Yeah, it looks like it's going though. Looks like it's going. I mean, closing this SIB here completely to me is equal with it will trade for the highs. Bullish for value gap inside of the breaker. The breaker wasn't traded above as it is yet on a closing basis. So it's not necessarily inversed by the price, but that's kind of what it seems to be. Yeah. So the touch here ahead of the macro was the turning point here, and the macro just did the expansion right away. So it's definitely going for the buy side now here. And yeah. I mean, I missed it. I was thinking about entering on this high. I even hovered the limit order, but then I decided, nah, I will wait for the macro. If it comes back there during the macro, I will enter. But then it happens to do it ahead. Fair enough. Yep. Well done, Mr. Ban. Thank you. So yeah, now I would like to see this breaker act as a inversion breaker and offer some discount sensitivity instead and send it actually higher. Okay, so this candle, in my mind, should be attacking the buy side liquidity, best case. And that would be probably it for the session. All right, now it really should go. That was an outside candle after two inside candles here. It should really nail the buy side and yeah. And then we could see how far above it could it go. I would like this this last drop before running the buy side, half of a standard deviation of that, or a complete standard deviation as best case scenario, just as an idea. So around here would be a cool potential target. I'm not saying it will hit, but something to watch. And yeah, uh, nice number, 575 even. Nonetheless, thanks for watching. It was a pleasure as always. I will be back for the New York AM session though, as I didn't trade this one. So See you later, I guess. And that's the run. Beautiful. And let's then watch whether it hits the projection, which is 575 even. And yeah, it's almost there. So let's watch. Let's wait a couple seconds. Can we get it on stream captured? But yeah, even if it doesn't go there, this is like a close enough call, right? I mean, I would be content with that. So yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching and see you guys next time. Bye bye.